Welcome back to the What If It Works podcast, and welcome to a brand new season with a brand new mission. This season is for leaders who are tired of carrying everything alone, leaders who want to build strong, thriving, unified teams without burning themselves out in the process. I'm your host, Ann Vogt, and this season we are focusing on something that shapes every culture, every team, and every result you get. That's right, communication. Not just communication that is polite or careful, but communication that is clear, confidence, and rooted in conviction. Because clarity reduces stress, confidence builds ownership, and conviction creates a culture people actually want to be a part of. In this season of What If It Works, we are going to explore what it looks like to stop over functioning as a leader and start building a team that thinks, decides, and takes ownership by themselves. Not just because we control them, but because we trust them. In this season, we'll unpack real stories from real leaders that I've either coached or run into while I'm on the stage. We're going to do practical shifts that you can make immediately and mindset changes that will allow you to lead with more impact and less exhaustion. So if you've ever wondered, what if it works to trust my team more? What if it works to stop fixing everything by myself? And what if it works to lead with clarity? You are in the best place. I am so excited you are joining us for season 2. This is episode 82 of the What If It Works podcast and episode 1 of the Confident Leader series. In my presentations and in my coaching, I'm really realizing that it's not that leaders don't know what to do. It's that they're lacking clarity in how to do it. They're lacking confidence that it's going to make a difference, and they're lacking conviction that they are the one to lead the change. And so in thinking of starting off a new series, I really thought about what is in the way, what is causing leaders to struggle to communicate as they are leading in these new roles. Now, if you're listening to this episode and you're like, is this even going to be for me? Let me tell you, we are talking to leaders in management positions or people who are interested in management positions, want to show up in a new way so that they are seen as the first option when a role opens up. So if that is you, keep listening. Here's what I've really come to the realization. A lot of leaders right now in the last year are exhausted. They are tired. They are overworked. They're feeling burnt out. But what's interesting is they're not burnt out because there's too much work expected of them. They are burnt out because they are doing all of the work for all of the people. And that is not what you were hired to do as a leader. You were honestly put in this role to lead others to do their work really well, and for you to watch the flow of the work and make sure that when challenges arise, there is someone in charge to step in and make decisions. A lot of leaders are realizing they just need to step up their communication, get extremely clear with the people they work with, and feel convicted that this change is possible. Let me tell you a story. Every month in the town that I work in, New Ulm, Minnesota, we have an opportunity called the Leader Collaboratory. This is a new program that I developed and am partnered with the New Ulm Chamber to deliver. There is one individual specifically who showed up and said, I'm finding myself never able to sit down. He works in a manufacturing center and he is constantly walking around and helping his employees troubleshoot. Now, is this his role? Yes. However, when we really looked at the way he was communicating, the words he was using to his team were, if you run into a problem, just call me over and I will help you fix it. And what he quickly realized is that even though this seems like a great leadership phrase, if you run into any issues, call me over and I will come fix it. What he was really saying to his team is, I don't trust you to fix problems. And they heard that loud and clear. And so what was happening? As there were issues, as there are going to be in a manufacturing center that rely on technology, right? They were sitting down and waiting for him to come over and help. This was actually causing more of a bottleneck within the process. And it was having his team kind of get down on themselves every time they had to slow down their work. It really brought down their attitude at the same time. So we took a look at this problem. We said, okay, what is one simple thing you can do differently when you go back to work today? And he was like, well, maybe I need to let them know, like, they can fix it. They know how. They've now watched me for months, years, etc., come over and fix the problem. And so maybe I just need to tell them, I trust you can fix it. And it was this beautiful moment, because what this gentleman was doing is getting clear that I do trust them. He was becoming confident in what to say to showcase that trust. And in that moment, I said, but do you trust them? And he said, yeah, I do. I just want to make sure that as they run into an issue, if they don't trust themselves, I'm right there with them. And I love his willingness to give up his time to help his team. But what it was doing was causing inefficiency, ineffective leadership in reality, and like I said, a complete slowdown. And so we changed the phrase to, I trust you can fix it. And if you run into any issues, ask your neighbor. And if you still run into issues, let me know I'm here for you. A month later, he comes back to the leader collaboratory. And I said, all right, how's it going? How's it going? And he says, it was great. Now they're all helping each other. They're actually stepping up to help when they hear a machine go down or they hear a guy start to struggle, and they're not calling me. So I am getting my paperwork done. I am getting my reports done, and I'm finding myself having to go out and help with really big issues. But before I even leave those issues, I say, the next time this happens, you know what to do. And I was just so proud. This is a little tiny shift in wording that caused a huge shift in problem solving, in collaboration, in efficiency within the floor, and effectiveness of his employees using their own skills and leadership in order to move forward when challenges arise. And so I want you to reflect as a leader right now. Where are you feeling burned out? Where are you feeling like maybe you're overstepping? When in reality, you could probably shift some of your words, which would shift the belief of your team and shift the actions they are taking. This type of reflection is so important because as you are a leader and you start to get burned out, reflection feels like a waste of time. I hear you. I know some of you are listening to me right now and you're like, Anne, I got to get to work. And you do. But take these moments while you're listening right now and reflect. What am I doing that's actually causing a bottleneck? It's causing a slowdown. It's causing inefficiency. And I know you're not meaning to do it. You are literally there with your heart on your sleeve, trying to help everyone be productive and everyone feel confident. And in reality, some of your words might actually be stripping that from them. And I know you don't mean to do that. And so let's show up with intention. With this scenario, I like tying it back to parenting because so often as moms and dads, we are trying to do so much for our kids that it is actually limiting them later, right? So I want to have my kids be the happiest. And in my brain, them being the happiest means them having the least obstructions to their own happiness and their own goals and their own desires. And I am over here, right? Like getting those obstructions out of the way. And in reality, what am I doing? I'm slowing down their process. I am keeping them from grit and resilience. I am blocking them from the goals that they're going to have to go out there and achieve that their mom is not going to be there for to get all the challenges out of the way in the future. And so if I can allow them to feel empowered, to feel that they can lead themselves now at the ages of 11 and 13, just imagine what their lives are like at 21 and 23 or 31 and 33. And so as a leader, you are not doing a disservice by stepping back. You are doing a huge service to your team as they learn, as they grow, and as they lead themselves and others in the future. And what if it works? I love rounding out the podcast with that question. What if you took a few minutes to reflect on where are you stepping in? Where do you need to trust your team more? And where do you lack confidence that might actually have some negative impact on your team? And what if you took a new action today? What if you rephrased a clear direction that you've set in the past that takes you out of the equation and puts the leadership and the empowerment on your teammates? What are you going to get? I'll tell you right now that more clarity equals more action. So you are probably going to see more action out of your team. More action leads to more momentum. And when people feel momentum, they want to keep taking action. So you getting yourself out of the way and empowering your staff could build more action, more momentum, which builds more confidence in your team, and you are going to see more efficiency and more effective leadership. You can do it. The struggle that we run into is how do we let go? And I want you to erase that phrase from your mind, and I want you to think of how do I empower? How do I step in and lead in a way that other people get engaged and get motivated and take action in? Because that's what we're here to do. Thank you so much for joining today. Episode 2 is all about you being allowed to lead. We are going to give you permission to step up and step into that role. We are going to get clear on what that looks like and help you feel confident and convicted that you are the person to drive change. And you were literally put in this role to do that. So let's get going. I cannot wait to see you back here next week. Episodes are going live every Wednesday. Thank you so much for putting in the effort, putting in the time, and going out there and creating change. If you are looking for ways to create change at your workplace, look no further. I am a keynote speaker and workshop facilitator. I would absolutely love to chat with you about coming in to your organization, helping you get extremely clear on the culture you want to build and giving you the strategies to go create that culture confidently with your leadership team or with every employee. Go to annvote.com to learn more. Let's make 2026 the year that your team gets clear, builds confidence, and is convicted in their leadership that will drive your business forward. Let's create a year of success and momentum together.